Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, people? We're back another day. Give me a second. I would like to see if the stream works on phone and if the audio is clear. So just give me a second and I'll be with you guys in a bit. All right. Seems everything is working fine. I would My audio sounds like it's gated in a way. I don't know if I particularly like that, but it's better than the whole atmospheric noise. Today I'm going to be doing maybe an hour 30 minutes on stream. Okay, so let's get on what we need to do today. Today we're going to be doing garbage drums. That's this right here. It's going to take a little long to model because I want to capture as much detail as I can. So what I'm going to do, or what I've gone ahead to do, is actually gathering references. The first reference I'm going to model is this, something that we are familiar with in Nigeria. This one, I feel like I could knock this one out in 45 minutes. I think so. So yeah, let's get on with it. I don't know what's going on. This looks like a pedal, but I don't know the mechanism of what's going on here. It's going to be tricky to model this part. But let's go. Let's see what this model holds in stock for us. I'm going to swipe right and then open up Blender. How are you guys doing? I don't know if there's anyone on stream. Okay. Not even a one person, but it's cool. So, yeah. So, first thing, I'm going to start with setting up the scale of the scene, right? I'm going to bring in a cube and bring that to the surface, GZ, right? And I'm going to bring in a human for reference. I'm going to go to our human folder and I'm going to bring in this dude. What's going on? Uh-huh. That's weird. See that I can pick this guy. Uh-huh. So we can GX out of there and it's right beside. So my thinking is for a garbage drum. So basically a dustbin. I'm looking at something around this size and scale on the Z, just like so. So somewhere around this is good because this guy looks pretty tall, actually. He looks really tall. So I'm going to put it somewhere around here and SX, just like so. So if they want to be a pedal right here, wait, I used to know how to create a wedge, but I don't know. I've just forgotten how to do that. Um, I think I'll bring out. I think I'll use this, go in and then press V. No, it's not V. Let me try that again. And by the way, I'm using box cutter for this. I just want to remember how to create a wedge, basically. Let me look for the shortcut down here. Insert, extract, scale. Wedge is W. Exactly. Like, I mean, I don't know why a wedge was taking me so long to figure out. Like, easy peasy. So, yep, we're going to, let me go back to our task for today. I don't think I'm going to be using a lot of box cutter because this is not a hard surface. But I just wanted to make sure that, like, if we kind of had a wedge in here, his foot will be able to, it looks like his foot should be able to go in perfectly. Yep. So that this is an ideal scale. This is a good scale, actually. This is a good scale. I'll just make it shorter. It looks too high, considering it's a really tall reference. This looks like a 6-footer for real. So yep, this is also going to be using for reference. I'll move this to the side, GX, and I can bring in a new cube and move this to the surface. Just like so. Scale down, and I can SZ. Scale down, SZ. All right. So I'm just going to be swiping right, looking at what this looks like, and swiping to the other part. And that's how we're going to model this today. S, scale on the Z. The bottom part I will scale in just a tad, and this I'll bring this down just a tad. So I'm going to select these vertices down here, apply scale, and I'm going to bevel just like so. Right? Then right in front, there's a slight extrusion right in front. So I'm going to delete this face first. Then I'll bevel this, Control B, to open this up just like so. And then I can extrude this in slightly. Just slightly. I want to delete these faces because it looks like trouble that is waiting to happen. I have to be really careful with this model so that I'm able to like do it in a way that is efficient. Then I think the next thing I want to do is create the cover. All right. I'll first of all create the cover. So for the cover, I want to do something like this. Create a loop, drop it right here, separate that loop, and then I'm going to select these two vertices and dissolve those vertices, and this is going to create the face, right? So for the face, it looks like it's slanted a little, and it also, wait, let me zoom this in. Okay, that's it. Extrude on the Z. just like so. But on this part, we're going to have to, let me see if I can get a share tool. Share on the Y, just like so. I can just see. Delete this face. So we got that. I'm also seeing a slight extrusion in front here. So I want to select this right here. I don't think I need these edges. Dissolve edge. And this is going to extrude forward a little and then scale on the x-axis. Right? GY. Just slightly. I think that looks like something that's supposed to, okay, it's not on handle. Then I think right at the trim right here, there's a slight extrusion also. So I'm going to come to the trim, put in an edge loop, and then extrude this along normals. But it's all wonky, and that signifies that we need to recalculate the normals and do that again. Extrude along. Sweet. We have that. Again, like, this is not the final thing. I'll still have to go around and, you know, bevel things, round things off, and just make it look a little softer. But for now, I'm just going to keep things editable, and I'll have to come back to making things round and softer. Right here, I think the top of the cover looks a bit complicated. And in order to do it properly, I feel like I need to see other sides, the other views of this. Maybe kind of look at it from the back. That's important. I don't have a back view here. So I want to probably go, okay, this is a back view. And it kind of looks like, looks a little confusing though. First of all, let me just create this covering up here. Right, so I'm going to do it like this. I'm just going to extrude it inward, just like so. Select this face and ES inward, just like so. I think this is also going to have to extrude on the Z-axis, but let me not get ahead of myself. I'll just leave this like so. And then the back, basically it has some kind of a design to it that makes this place have some kind of a pivot for you to be able to open this cover. And that is the design I'm trying to figure out. But I think before I figure that out, let me just create this top cover. This top cover looks a little complicated. So I want to figure that out first and then go on to that. So I'm going to bring in a loop right here. Okay. I think with this loop, I can duplicate that and P to separate that selection. This is not going to be the final thing for the top cover, because if you look, obviously, the back is flush for the top cover, but front here, it starts at the central point. So in order to actually simulate that, I'm actually going to eyeball this. I'm going to come to the top view. I'm going to scale, no proportional editing. I'm going to scale this, move it all the way to the back right here. And I think this should be a good base for our top cover. So this is flush. I'm going to extrude this on the Z axis and then model this center part and then create space to model this handle. That is the way I'm going to approach this. Right? I think that's an efficient way. I also need to create a ridge back here. So first of all, extrude, Then the next, create this round boxy center. Then the next is this one. So first, let's extrude on the Z. Extrude on the Z. I would like to do a grid fill, but let me do a normal fill and then just join things just like so. So I have access to be able to add extra loops to the center. So I can add a loop right here, a loop right here, select those loops separately and then bevel that. Right? So we have, I don't know if this is right dead on the center. It is not dead on the center. So I want to undo that and direct this myself. So I think this is relatively the size of that. And then I'm going to bring this up a little bit and then bevel that. So in beveling this, R GG. Okay, sweet. So this center point can be extruded up just like so. Something that I can do to make this look like a similar shape is kind of figure out how it's rounded here, much more that is rounded by the top bevel, the top corners. So I probably want to do that beveling myself, but again, I think this is like kind of a blocking out phase before I do a separate pass and then kind of refine it even more. So this is just blocking out what the shapes are going to look like. So right here, I want to add in a loop, and I probably want to use, let me see. I don't need to use hard ups. I can just delete this face. Yeah. And then this right here, I can extrude on the Z axis just like so. Fill this, and then I can fill this and close this up. So we have that opening right here. I also need to connect that connection. I can create another edge right here, and then just slightly another edge right here. And then this, I want to create a loop right here. So for this, I can extrude. Is the handle, okay, I think that's right about the same size. Yeah. Yeah, right about the same. No, it's not the same. I have to do this all over again. I can bring this in right here, create that, select this, extrude this all the way up, bring this top here, somewhere around there, select these faces and then bridge those faces. So that's good. In order to, there are some like artifacts on it, not exactly artifact, but like more design elements on it. So I would just use my loop tool to simulate that. Especially for something like this, I don't need these edges. Let me see. I don't exactly need those edges, so I can delete those edges. And the reason I want to delete those edges is I would like to join this part so that I can select this entire loop right here and then just bevel that. But it's not beveling. I think I need to recalculate normals and then just bevel this. Just like so. I want to be able to do that. So I have to kind of restructure this somehow. Let's see this. GY, move out of the way. I think we have something. So what I'll probably do next is this center and then add another bevel. But I probably want to get back to this later. But something I want to do right now is flip this to the other side, figure out what's going on back here. So in order to do that,